Hey everybody, and welcome to my in5 series where I cover a topic in about 5 minutes. Today I want to talk about what I've been doing for the last, 4 to 6 weeks. Kind of tearing down and rebuilding my desk studio setup here. And figured I'd kind of go over what I've been doing, why I've done it, and kind of where I think things are going to settle out. So first up, I've been really trying to figure out how to get something to be the brain of my studio, and the pretty obvious one has been the MPC. It just offers so much features and functionality, and we can do a lot of MIDI and audio work over USB-C. I don't want the SP404 Mark II to go anywhere because I still get questions from people that are interested in how to do things with it, so I wanted to make sure I was keeping this as part of the setup. I have a lot of other gear as well, though. I've got a lot of Akai rack samplers and rack equipment. I've got a Waldorf Iridium, I got an Access Virus, and I got a bunch of Euro rack. And anybody that's tried to set up a lot of gear will certainly know and understand that as you keep adding things, you're going to keep adding risk for having noise floor, ground loops, and other things. And I don't know, I get kind of exhausted with it, so I tore everything down and just had a completely blank, empty desk where I could kind of bring things up and work on one or two things at a time. It was fine, but it didn't really let me kind of work the way I wanted to. And I'm just going to back out and switch to a different camera here just to kind of show you like what I've got set up. So you can see here, as I come over, the brains of everything is really right here. The top rack is the Behringer 1820, and I think it's the ADA 8000 or 8200 underneath it. And this is basically my entire audio interface, and this is allowing me to hook up all this gear, and it's pretty low noise. Underneath, I've got the Mio XL eye connectivity that's doing all of my MIDI routing. Most of the MIDI stuff's on the back, and underneath this, I know people have been curious and asked before, but underneath is all of my microphone processing for what I'm actually talking to you guys. But if we come back up here, one of the things that I've kind of switched to for a while I've been using the Teenage Engineering TX6 over here. That's the audio interface that's going to my computer for doing a lot of the audio processing. And it actually allows me to do a couple different things. One is really small, tiny. I can bring it with me if I go someplace else and still want to record something. And another important part is if I've got a microphone hooked into the headphone jack in the front, it actually will take and duck any audio that's going through the main outs or inputs and duck it underneath my voice. So it makes it a very easy way to get a pretty clean signal and easier to hear me what I'm talking and saying. So with that, basically down here, as I said, I had been using the Behringer 1820 as my main audio interface for my laptop, and it worked really well. But as I said, I wanted to have something that was a little bit more portable. This did doing some of those movement and changing things around did free this up, so I could get the MPC going here. And as you can see, we've got up top, we've got the Akai VX90, and that's a analog synthesizer that Akai made a very long time ago. Below that, I got the S950, and I did some research, found some of these 90-degree TRS cables so I can have something plugged into the audio input in the front and not have to be fighting with it to get audio in. And I still have some space in front where I can, kind of stage things or get things set up if I want to do videos. Over here, I've then got the Access Virus. I've almost always paired the Access hardware in the virus space with the MPC. Back when I had an MPC 1000, I had the Virus C upgraded through some of the different iterations. I've really loved it. And then here you can see I got the Waldorf Iridium, another synthesizer. I think it sounds great. I personally love it. And then I got the Akai Z8 and the Akai S1000. And you can see here, I got room still for actually able to set things up and do things so that I can use the camera. I've got my iPhone that I usually use my camera. I've got a nice little light box here, microphone right in front, and then kind of, it's a little hokey, but I'm putting my laptop up here so I can record stuff. Anyway, a couple things you might notice is I'm gonna put the microphone down. A couple things you might notice. One, if you'd seen or been on my Discord, I used to have the Eurorack stuff up here, and I just was like, you know what, this stuff is just so noisy. It just creates so much noise, and I didn't want to deal with getting ground loops added or ground loop isolators added and all that. The power lines were pretty dirty, and like just as soon as I disconnected the whole thing, I was like, oh, this all sounds so much better. So I still have a lot to do to kind of disconnect things, reconnect them, just to clean up the cabling. The cabling is currently a giant mess, so probably need to get like some snake kind of like wraps to help wrap some of these cables together, organize things a bit better. But I mean, by and large, I'm going to tell you, I'm pretty happy with the noise floor. Seems like it's pretty low. I am hearing for like this track that I just did using all this gear and creating a dummy template just so I could have the MPC organize and kind of work with everything. I'm actually pretty happy with it. Like the noise floor seems much lower. I don't have like a ringing in my ears or from the headphones, which I had kind of picked up. And I'm assuming I can get a pretty clear and clean signal out of my studio monitors. I haven't tested that yet, but I am looking forward to being able to actually use this in a way that I can, I don't know, if I want to do daily tracks, just load stuff up and kind of send audio in and around. I don't know that I'll share the template just because I don't think it's super useful for anybody unless they have the exact same gear that I've got, which seems unlikely. But I probably will start trying to take some time trying to actually just get back into recording, like just even like partials of songs and post it up on my Patreon or something if people want to download it. So yeah, I'll drop a link in the description if anybody's curious. Anybody that's got questions, definitely don't hesitate to reach out. I really try and answer stuff as much as I can, and yeah, I'm gonna keep poking at getting this thing set up. And as the SP404 Mark II questions have slowed down, I don't know, I got a couple devices I think I want to work on. Possibly the M8 or the OPXY might be the next two that I really start doing some deep dives on. But if anybody else has questions on something I've got for gear, like feel free to drop them in the comments. Do my best to get back to you guys and get you some answers. So anyway, thanks everybody for stopping by. Keep making music, keep having fun. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good. And peace.